Hey, so we're the creators of Misselthwaite Archives along with a few other people, and we're gonna talk about this show!
This is fucking terrible, you guys. So hi, we are some of the production team behind the Misselthwaite Archives, and we're here today to tell you a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes and just talk about kind of how we got started and what our process is like. So I'm Eileen, and I am the showrunner, which basically means I am in charge of everybody everywhere. I do a lot of writing stuff. I basically go through all the scripts and kind of make them continuous, and I also direct all the episodes, and I'm kind of in charge of making sure that everything is cohesive and it's all following the same vision.
I'm Amanda. I'm executive producer and also production designer. I kind of help out with the way things look.
She makes things pretty.
I deal with the birds. And I also kind of fill in other places as needed on set. I often act as script supervisor and production assistant.
And I'm Julia. I am the multimedia producer for Misselthwaite. I also am a writer. I do a lot of the script rewrites. I do photography, PA.
This project was definitely Eileen's brainchild baby.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
So I had been a huge fan of the Lizzie Bennet Diaries and the autobiography of Jane Eyre and the New Adventures of Peter and Wendy and a whole bunch of the other literary web series adaptations, and so I really wanted to do one, and so I was looking through a whole bunch of books that were in the public domain, and I was like, well, The Secret Garden has been one of my favorite books for forever, so why don't we do that? And then I kind of roped a whole bunch of people into doing it with me. You and I first talked about the idea a little less than a year ago, I think. It was probably around, well, I guess it's March
Sort of
now, so it was probably March or April of last year. And so that was when we first started talking about the idea, and we both, reread the book, and we're kind of trying to figure out, a general outline of how the story was going to go and how we were going to modernize all the aspects of it. And then we talked about that for a couple months and kind of came up with a synopsis, and we went chapter by chapter through the book and kind of came up with an outline that modernized every single chapter in the book. And then from there kind of went through and started, rearranging things and restructuring things. And I mean, just in modernizing the story, we've had to make a lot of changes to the characters because people generally don't have servants in their house anymore.
People don't name their kids Dickon that much anymore.
There's a lot of kind of antiquated ideas in the original story, and so updating those was a little bit of a challenge, but it's been really fun to see all the creativity that our team has come up with in trying to figure out how to work around the stuff like that. When we finished that was probably around the time we launched our first teaser in June.
Yeah.
We knew what we were doing by June. It was right before VidCon. Yeah. After that, we put out, towards the end of the summer, August or September, we put out our ad for our development team. So we put that up on Craigslist and Tumblr, and a lot of the people that responded actually came through other web series fandoms, which is awesome.
It's really nice to have people on the team who have worked on other web series or been fans of other web series, because it's not, I mean, it's definitely getting there, but the vlog style web series based off a literary book isn't something that's like taught in school yet. It's not something that you get out of your filmmakers 101 handbook.
Yeah, trying to explain this project to like
traditional
filmmakers is really difficult. They just have like no concept of what I'm talking about at all. It's been really interesting seeing the mix of people on our team, because we have some people who are really familiar with the vlog style, and then we have some people, a lot of the people on our production crew are more traditional filmmakers, so watching them kind of come into this style has been really interesting.
Our development team is amazing. Like,
whoever those people are.
We put, 10 people together in a Skype call from all over the world.
Yeah.
From 4 different time zones?
Yeah, who were all interested in...
4, including the UK. So just like, for reference, we're in Pacific Standard Time, and
Hazel, who was our first eager development team.
Yeah, she was actually the first person who responded to our ad. But it's an 8-hour time difference for her, so we have our meetings usually around 6 p.m. our time, and she's up at 4 in the morning participating in our calls. So
but yeah, it was really incredible, because normally when you get 10 people together in a room, like, you get you know, ideas that clash or things can stall, or sometimes it's
Butting
hard
heads.
to get people to work together. But our team has all been super awesome about, you know, staying on track with our ideas, adding in things that enrich the ideas, add more depth to the characters. Like, some of the depth that's come out of characters in development meetings is just like, they could do what? Their backstory is what? Oh, God! Oh, it's so good! You know? Not to toot our horn or anything.
So after we put our development team together, then we started having weekly meetings on Skype, where every week we would talk about certain things. Like, we had a week where we talked about the structure, and then another week where we talked about the characters, and...
But yeah, like, each character had their own meeting, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Where, you know, we'd break down a character or two per meeting and really go into who they were, like, take the core of them from the book and translate that core into a modern-day personality that you can relate to.
And then from there we went into actually writing episodes, assigning episodes out, writing first drafts, second drafts, revising. And around that same time we started the casting process and the whole kind of pre-production, you know, location scouting and putting together a crew and all that kind of stuff. And so that was most of what we did over like fall up through the end of 2014. So casting was really interesting in that we had a lot of people audition, and we don't have that many characters. We have like 6 or 7 characters, I think, depending on whether or not you count the cat. But so we didn't have that many roles that we were auditioning people for, but we had about 60 or 70 people send us headshots and show up and audition, and so that was nuts. We actually ended up making a lot of character decisions when we cast. It was kind of, oh, you know, this girl plays Mary this way and this girl plays Mary this way, and which direction do we want the character to go in if that's gonna be how she naturally plays the character.
They all had different takes on Mary's, and Sophie's was kind of closest to what we had talked about in development meetings, and that's the one that we felt, she was the one that we felt kind of stuck to our Mary and our vision of Mary, which, I mean, it was a difficult choice in the end. I know that, like, you were...
I, like, literally lost sleep over it.
Yeah.
Medlock was a hard choice, too.
Yeah, Medlock was really hard because our unit production manager and our line producer, Brandy, we met because she came in and auditioned for Medlock. And we really, really liked her as well. But luckily we ended up, even though we didn't cast her, Brandy didn't hold a grudge against us and she came onto the project anyway.
She works with us now.
We got both of them.
Yeah. Brandy's fantastic.
Yeah.
She keeps us fed and on time and makes sure that nobody dies, which is really important.
Oh my gosh, she's the best.
So we have an exciting announcement, which is that we will be coming off of hiatus on March 25th. We had to find a new location for our secret glade because our original location was having some flooding issues. Basically, anytime it rained at all, it was completely inaccessible, except for by boat.
Spoiler, it rains in Oregon a lot.
So we thought we were going to be able to deal with it, and then we couldn't. And then we also had some sound issues with that location. So we decided to find somewhere else to shoot in, but it's a little bit more remote. It needs a little bit more design work, so it's going to be a couple weeks before we can get in there and actually film those episodes. So we will be back on March 25th, and we'll hopefully be able to keep you coming, and we'll hopefully be able to keep coming at you with episodes from then until the series ends.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Like, thank you so much for keeping up with the show and commenting and, you know, doing, like, the fan canon exercises with, like, all the fan fictions about, like, the cat. Oh, I was, like...
The cat fan fiction is my favorite.
Like, all the audience interaction, just, like, it feeds us so much. And we love you guys, and thank you so much for watching this and doing this with us.
And don't forget the hashtag archive this on Tumblr. We do take fan submissions, and we do canonize it, so keep that in mind and keep doing that, because that's really great.
You can follow any of us on the social medias if you want.
Amanda really wants more Twitter followers.
Please, I have, like, 18.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
That was so awkward.
I definitely have sticky crotch.